Hey y'all, welcome back to Knitting Our Jeans. I'm Liz.
I'm Carolyn.
And thank you for joining us if you're new. And if you like us, please like and subscribe.
That would be great.
If not, that's fine too.
That's right.
If you're joining us again, thank you so much for coming back. We really appreciate it. So you can find me on social media as Toolizzforyou, Toolizzforyou.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, well.
And I'm cpredmor, which was a very old beginning of an email, and I'm that on Ravelry and on Instagram, except that I'm normally
Knitting in Our Jeans.
Knitting in Our Jeans on Instagram. Hopefully doing a -C, but not all the time.
I noticed you were on your I made myself a new account a few days ago because I saw likes by Carolyn Predmore, not cpredmor.
Oh, that's when I'm dead in Richard's office.
No, usually that's cpredmor.
Oh, you know what? I think that the computer's messed up downstairs then. Then we're going to have to deal with the computer downstairs.
Okay.
I wondered what was going on.
It was very funny.
Oh, well.
Why, you weren't seeing all your usual people?
No, I wasn't.
That would be a clue.
Very upsetting.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I didn't change it, but maybe somebody else was on their Instagram and mine just flipped or something. Maybe. Anyway,
so what are you wearing?
I'm wearing my Willowdale bridge with fixed shoulder seams. I do think that in the future I'm going to cut these back by about 12 stitches because it now seems to be more of a drop shoulder.
Yeah.
But let me stand up. So it comes in at the waist because of the semi-ribbing pattern that I have. And I'm very happy now with these sleeves. They're not big and bulky like they were. There's a tie neck.
I feel like it should have a hood.
I
don't know why, but I feel like it should have a hood.
Maybe because of the tie.
Maybe because of the tie.
Because it's not really a drapey tie.
Yeah.
It's like a cowboy tie. Anyway, I like it, and I certainly will be wearing it to work next winter. I will be writing this up, but probably not for another 2 weeks or so, because I've got papers to grade over there, and finals start this week, Monday. I've got finals on Monday, I've got finals on Friday, finals on Saturday, and it's Mother's Day weekend. And we'll be going down to Alexandria, Virginia to visit my mom, her grandma, and we're going to be busy. So we may be able to film.
We'll probably be able to film.
There or when we get back, because I have a feeling we'll leave early. So we'll see. We'll see. So that's who I am. And my sweater that I'm wearing, which is handmade, hand-designed. Yeah, it's hand-designed. Anyway, I really like it. So that's what that is. What have you got on? You've got a raccoon.
My trash panda.
Your trash panda.
From Tanya.
Yes, I like it.
For Christmas, or for my birthday.
Very nice. What happened here? So, what are you working on?
So I'm working on my Mia top, which is from Knitty 2000 and I believe 16. Let me just get through this section.
Okay.
The only patterned section for the next 5 rows.
Of course.
Yeah. I have to get out my pattern so I can mark it down, too.
Is this very complicated?
No. Well, when you're trying to decipher notes from 2 years ago, it
right.
is.
Yes, yes.
So, I started this about 2 years ago, and it's in yarn that I bought at Knit 2 years ago. It's a bamboo. Let me get it out of the bag.
Okay.
It is Ella Ray Cozy Bamboo Wool and Bamboo Blend. So it's 50-gram balls, 100 yards put up, and it is viscose and wool. So 80% viscose, 20% wool.
So viscose is bamboo?
I guess in this case they're calling it bamboo.
Huh. Interesting.
Know. Whatever. It's still.
I would have called it nylon, but you know.
Yeah. Whatever. It's still nice. It's pretty
it's
soft.
gotta be light. It's very nice.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
So, I am.
So is this like a tunic or?
Yeah. Let me grab the pattern. So that's the photo.
That looks very
nice. Has a nice little seed stitch detail there. It also has a seed stitch detail on the back, which I don't have a photo of. Sorry. So this is the schematic. So it's a tunic, and I am at, I guess, the increase after the decreases. I'll start increasing in a few rows, I think, to make the tunic part of it.
To go for the hips.
To go for the hips.
Decrease for the waist.
So there were short rows in the back to create the asymmetric back, the asymmetric hemline. There is then a gather there that you can't really see because I've only done just done it. And then there's so once you do some...
There was a great deal of discussion on knit about this.
There was. So I had a note on my pattern.
From 2 years ago.
As previously stated, saying yada, 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 yada. And then, in my handwriting, 5 inches from lifeline. Does this mean that I continue knitting until 5 inches from the lifeline? Does this mean that I want to have the next step start at 5 inches from the hemline? Or from the lifeline? So... We spent about 5 minutes trying to decipher it, and then Mom goes, those are notes from 2 years ago. Why don't you decide what you want now? Right. So we did, and we figured out it meant that I wanted the thing to happen at 5 inches from the lifeline. The gather. Yeah. So, yeah.
You just don't have to do exactly what you were going to do 2 years ago or 5 years ago or whenever that WIP is from. You can figure out what you'd want to do with it now and go from there. Sense. So, but once she decided what she would want, it ended up being
the same thing I wanted 2 years ago.
Yes, and that's fine.
Yes.
That's absolutely fine.
I have gotten through all of that, and I've gotten through all of the short rows, which was funny because at some point I decided that the short rows, instead of 3 stitches past, were going to be 5 stitches past, and had to frog those. That was fun.
You're making stuff up now.
Yeah, but I'm on page 7 of 9.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah. So we'll see. I have to figure out what my desired length is.
You can make it a dress.
I know.
It really looks nice.
It does. So I think I want to knit at least until it hits my hip, and then see how much yarn I have left. And because of my gauge, I'm knitting the size extra small, so I have yarn. I have lots of yarn.
So you could make it a dress.
So I probably could make it a dress. I just don't know how it would wear on me as a dress,
No, I don't know. I don't understand the question.
The question is, I don't know if it would look good on me as a knee-length dress, or if I have to go slightly below the knee and make it like a midi.
I wouldn't go slightly longer because we don't know how it's going to stretch.
So it would have to be mid-thigh because of the possible stretch.
Right. So it could start out as a tunic and end up as a dress.
As a dress, yeah.
Possible. Okay, if you're wondering what I'm doing over here, I'm winding a ball of
the silk.
Heavy lace silk that came in my Susan Crawford package.
For the Shetland book.
For the Shetland book. And she sent yarn for the Jennie sweater. And I've been staring at it ever since it came. So, 2 months?
Something like that?
Something like that. I can't stand it anymore. So I figured while we're working on our podcasts, I'll start working on this. I know it's going against all the rules.
I was going to say, I at least picked up something new when I finished things, because I finished something besides my blanket this week.
Well, I want to hear all about that, but I'm having cast-on-itis.
I can see that.
So I'm terribly. Woo! Sorry.
I'm throwing yarn at yourself.
I'm throwing yarn at myself. So I figure I can start this, and I'll calm down. Mm-hmm. I started my owl, so we'll talk about that. Why don't you tell us what else you finished?
So I finished...
Because obviously I finished this.
I finished the Baa-ble hat for Michael.
Oh, I love it.
So next time we see them, I can give this to them. They moved recently, and yesterday was Steph's birthday, so I figure maybe
they're probably busy.
Maybe not next weekend, but the weekend after we can see them.
That would be nice.
Yeah. So I finished it. It looks really cute.
That's the weekend of the Long Island Yarn Festival.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oops.
Yeah. So I finished that. I was really excited about that.
Very nice.
So it's done.
Good. And we can get into and I can give the baby the sweater when we see them. That'd be great.
So I finished that. And then I picked up my Mia because I was like, I just want to knit and not think about really pattern. And since most of this is stockinette, that's what we got going. Because I've got the little pixel still on the needles, and I've got the Chuck still on the needles, both in my bag, that I need to finish before I can start my anything for myself again. Because I'm trying to be a good kid. I did get to the heel of my sock, though. I don't have it up here with me. It's in my purse downstairs. As
all good purse knitting should be.
Yes.
Yes.
Look at you and your little adorable follow yarn. It's real tiny.
Yes. Well, the skeins are very tiny. So this is Susan Crawford's Pearl. 100% hand-dyed pure silk in the Golden Rambler colorway. That's this. And they're extremely tiny. They're this big. So they are how much?
25 grams?
10 grams. These things are 10 grams. And there's enough in this box for the entire Jennie sweater. So we'll see. You can... And this is a sweater I don't think I can knit outside the house because there's so much going on in it. So this is going to be years in the making. Whatever. What else do you have to talk about, babe?
So, it was...
Wait a minute. Wait, are you going to go into what you did today?
Well, no, I was going to go into the fact that I fell down and bought yarn last weekend, and it showed up at my door today. Or yesterday.
Well, what? Maybe. Okay. Go ahead.
What were you thinking of talking about?
Well, I was going to talk about what was on my needles, but...
Okay, go for it.
Okay.
You looked like you were prompting me to start something new.
No, I was just waiting to see what we're doing next.
You can tell we're super organized.
Very organized. This is my owl.
It's beautiful.
Yes, it's the Julia. And there is actually something like 28 rows of the ribbing. This is the cotton, the Nerd Girl cotton and Proton Pack colorway, and I like it. I like it a lot. And then I'm only on row 3 of the pattern, which will be lacy. So anyway, that's gotten me started. So not bad. But I've also worked on my shawl. So let me get that out. I found the shawl was really easy to work on while I was listening to presentations, and I had a crisis this week. I'm listening to somebody's presentation in the class. And one of the reasons I knit in class while they're doing presentations is to get them used to the idea that people are not going to hang on to every word that they're saying when they're giving a presentation. I looked down in my lap, and one of my needles has shattered. And I'm going, okay. So I quickly put everything kind of as much of a park position as I could. And this is what I do to wooden needles that are size 3s or less. This is a 3, and I've just totally destroyed that needle. So that's actually just up here to show you what I do. Then this is my shawl. You want to help me here, babe?
Wow.
Yes. So I've had 3 of the big holes. And I'm almost to the end of this particular stripe because it's going pretty far down the tail there. How far have I gotten with it?
You've gotten to there.
About here.
So you need to get all the way down?
So I've got, and it goes 30, so I've probably got 2 more, so 4 more rows to get to the end, and then I start the big multicolored piece again. This is going so well. I'm really happy with it. So thank you for suggesting it. And yes, I know I have lots of whips here at my legs to work on. Yes, and I have to work on my sock too. So I finished this. The Julia is my owl. The linen cable thing I'm going to have as my mission. I want to get one pattern of, I'd like to get up to the armholes before I get working on the socks again. Because that would be a fair piece. At least up to, I'm working on the back now, and I'd like to get up to the armholes. So we'll see how that goes. And then I'll write the pattern for the socks and do the socks. So I think I'm doing pretty well. Yes, I know I'm about to start this thing, but I'm sorry.
Are you supposed to swatch that in only one color or in the pattern?
I don't know.
Would you like to get up and get the book?
No.
Okay.
No. I'll just swatch this as it is, because if it's more involved than this, I'm not doing it right now. I'll go and figure out what oh, look at this. It's multi-plies.
Mm-hmm.
That's small. That's amazing. All right, so I've been pretty good considering I finished my sweater. I'm really pleased. Yes.
That's awesome.
Okay, so talk about how you fell down.
So, Nerd Girl had an update last week, and I ordered yarn because it was rough. Were you having a bad week? I was having a bad week. I was going into a bad week. I'm still going to have a bad week. They joked at work, so we have our GMP due Wednesday, and they're like, we can take Thursday off from meetings, and I was like, we can take Friday off too, and everyone's like, what? And I'm like, I'm gone at noon. Like I'm not going to be able to help. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Bye! I don't think you all understand. I've been falling asleep on my couch every night this week because I'm just done. Whatever.
Oh, so I told your father I had a new man in my life.
Oh, no.
He said, what? I have a physical fitness trainer.
Oh, no.
His name is Yusuf.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. And I think they're afraid of hurting and breaking Dr. Predmor.
Probably.
So, yeah, so he keeps saying, we're just going to work on fundamentals right now. We're going to, build your core so that, I know it's kind of boring. I go, I'm not bored. I'm not bored. It's okay. We're going to work on just, the first month is going to be fundamentals. I said, got it. I'm good with this.
God.
It's hysterical. It is hysterical. Anyway, your father says, what new man? And I said, Yusuf. God. He goes, who is he? I says, my trainer. He goes, great!
So, I bought yarn.
Yeah, sorry, back to the yarn.
I bought yarn. I only bought 3 skeins, though. So, as you all heard, I had a bit of a breakdown when it came to my grandparents last week, or 2 weeks ago. So, I had to get Eleanor, which is in, so the base is Eleanor, and the color is Worrying Means You Suffer Twice. And it is a DK weight, 60% merino, 40% Romney, entirely U.S. sourced, spun, and dyed. It's a little crunchy, but feel it.
Oh, nice.
I know. I half want to see if I can make something for Eleanor out of this, but I know she won't wear it, so why do it? I'm just it's so squishy. It's not against your skin squishy. I almost wish I could make a coat out of it, because I feel it'd be glorious as a coat. It'd also be a bit pricey as a coat. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. It's just, amazing. It's this beautiful, I want to call it a 2-ply. I think it's a 2-ply DK. It's about 265 yards, and it's just glorious. And look at how beautiful that perfect... It's a little bit more teal in real life, but look at how perfect that blue is. So, yeah. And then I got a lace weight, because I'm crazy, called Silky Merino Gold Sparkle Lace in a one of a kind, 2 of a kind color, which is purples and blues and just beautiful. And it's 70% merino, 20% silk, 10% stellina. So, maybe it's been friendly?
Oh my gosh.
I know.
What is it again?
It's 70-20-10.
Maybe.
Yeah. And then I got the Black Panther colorway of the Wise Build Bridges on Mutiny 100, which is 400 yards, 80% merino, 20% silk. And I need to find the color to be the outside of this, because I think I want it to be the inside of that sweater. So I think I want it to be like a purple. I really wish I could have gotten like that color on a similar like base, because that would have been really pretty like that. But we'll see. I bet I can talk to Krista and find out her thoughts. But it's beautiful. And it's Mutiny, which we all know I love. So, yeah, that's that. So that was what came in my Instagram update, because...
Ooh, it's nice.
I know. I did well. I only bought 3 skeins.
That's amazing.
And none of it are parlay bits, because... So parlay is the bamboo wool that I really love, the worsted weight that is like being discontinued because she can't find a mill that'll mill it anymore. I know. So she's like using up all her cones and their little like odds and ends, and none of her odds and ends add up to more than like 50 or like 500-600 yards, and I'm like, I can't knit a sweater out of that.
No.
But yeah, so this is beautiful. This might get cast on soon. I don't know. I just figured it was the perfect blue on a base named Eleanor, which is my grandmother's name, and her favorite color is blue.
Yes.
I couldn't resist.
Could not resist.
I had difficulties. And then my random fandom showed up this month. So this is so pretty. This is a superwash Targhee with nylon. She's calling it Tesseract sock, and it's beautiful. It feels really good.
It does.
So it's called Here Comes the Fuzz, based on Hot Fuzz, the movie from the Cornetto trilogy, with Simon Pegg and his buddy. I can't remember his buddy's name right now. And I feel like it needs to become socks. I feel like socks.
Socks would be amazing.
Yeah, especially Targhee socks. Targhee socks.
I bet it would go well in some of these patterns.
But I don't think I really want to do it in any of those patterns.
That's fine.
It's got the same colors as those patterns.
Yes, it does.
But I think it needs to be, I think socks, because I'm feeling socks.
You're feeling socks?
For it. I'm feeling socks.
Okay.
So that is what came in my mailbox this week.
You've got a very happy mailbox.
I did have a very happy mailbox, though I still have not gotten my yarn I got over in East Hampton, so I think I have to call over there.
Better call.
Yeah.
Did you charge it?
Yeah.
Well, then I would call.
I'm going to call.
You may have to make a road trip.
Which is fine, but it's just...
fine. A little frustrating since you've already paid for it, a week ago? 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago.
No, it wasn't this week. It was last weekend? No, the weekend before.
So 2 weeks ago.
Something like that.
It is upsetting.
Yeah, but maybe, who knows with shipping or whatever. So
yeah. We're having shipping problems. You're waiting on a dress and I'm waiting on a dress.
I thought my bridesmaid dress was going to show up. It didn't. It's now scheduled for Tuesday.
And mine, originally, when they sent me the shipping notice, said it was going to show up on Saturday. And now it's Tuesday also.
Thanks, FedEx.
Yeah, really. So, my dress for the same wedding.
Yeah. Especially since we got our invites for that.
Yes, we did.
That was super cool.
I have to send my
RSVP as well.
Yes, it's an online RSVP.
Yep.
Yes.
We can do that while I'm here.
Yes.
So, did anything come in your mailbox today, Mom? Or this week?
Yes, we got a pattern book.
A magazine?
A magazine. We got knits.
And it's Southwest-inspired knits this month.
Yes.
Or this issue.
And I have to say that the ones I like are the ones in the back. Help.
Hold on.
Help.
Keep going.
This.
There. I think it was...
This. So there's this, and this is lace weight, I know, but I like the lace and the color. And then this
It's
looks
also
like it could be a really cool dress tunic, and I like that. So you found some other things that you like.
Yeah, so I liked, well, it's very much my best friend's Cassie's, like, style.
Yes.
So I don't know where this is going to go. We're going to see. But I really like this sweater. Just is really interesting. So that's super cool. The cardigan is really pretty with that detailing.
That's great. And
then this is mosaic. This is so cool. This is a mosaic design, and I think that'd be really fun to knit.
I think that I like my mosaic socks.
Yeah.
So I think it would be great, and it would be warm.
Mm-hmm.
Very warm.
Yeah. So
that's like a January sweater.
Yeah, or a cardigan.
Yes.
It's a cardigan, yeah.
Well, cardigans are sweaters.
It's pretty. And then this is fun. I don't know if I would knit it, but it's fun. It's bulky with some intarsia. So
it is nice. I bet it would go fast, too.
Yeah. That's the only positive about that. And then there's this shawl that I just really love. The braid detail, and then there's a bit of a mosaic design for the border, which is quite beautiful. And then I also liked the lace top that Mom liked. That one.
Mm-hmm.
And
we have no shortage of what we could do new.
But
the hard part is going back to the WIPs.
Yeah, which is why I told myself I had to pick up one more old thing before I could start anything else new, because I need to get stuff done. Also because I'm so close to just swatching from my
Zweig.
Well, no, I've already swatched for that. I want the Tanga. I'll pull that up. It's a beautiful Tanga.
What is it?
It is a cropped, sleeveless kind of top.
So perfect for summer.
Yeah, with some lace at the bottom. Here. It's also by the same person who designed the Zweig.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really...
It should be gorgeous.
It is beautiful. Let me pull it up. Tegna.
Yeah.
The Tegna. So that's the Tegna. It's really pretty. And I have a beautiful burgundy purple that I dyed at Neighborhood that I think would be great in it. And of course I texted Tanya this week being like, I can totally knit a Tegna in a evening. No, it was like right before it got really hot. It was like Monday or Tuesday. I was like, I can do this. And she was like, I can too. Yeah. Let's do that. Right. When we're super overworked. And yeah, totally. You can do that, honey. I was like, yeah. But I managed not to cast that on.
That's impressive.
Which was really impressive. But it's really beautiful. And I should probably swatch for that. Well, I want to finish the Mia.
Yes.
And then probably the little Pixel, and then I can do that, because I need to just work on some of these things. And yes, the Chuck has slightly taken a back seat just because it does involve me looking at the charts, because they're not intuitive, just because the charts are so intense. I mean, if you remember the sweater, and that's...
What happened?
There's a number of Elizabeth hairs. So, if you recall, if you look at that is a very intense cable. It's not exactly...
Beautiful.
It
like
is.
A Celtic knot.
It is. But you have to remember where these branches split and then when they come back together. So, it's not really intuitive in terms of, like, when you do what. So
Okay.
the pattern still needs to be watched while you do that. So I haven't really been in a good place to do that. But
I'm going to wind the yarn for the Zweig since you said it has to be done by October.
Yeah, we have to wear those at Rhinebeck.
Yes.
I have it wound.
We're in the house Zweig.
The Zweig house.
Yes.
Zweig house. Zweig house.
We're going to be part of the Zweig house. So we'll have to...
Or we'll just be part of the Zweig, you know. I feel like there's going to be lots of Zweigs. I feel like there's going to be lots of Zweigs. But yeah. So in other news...
Yes.
I lost my mind this weekend.
What'd you do?
Because this weekend was free comic book weekend.
Boat with your father, and I let him have an open flame on the boat. And he applied it to the prop shaft, and nothing happened. It got hot, but we didn't fix the problem that we had.
I came home.
He did it twice.
And Father goes, I have reached my skill level. He has to call the man.
He does.
He is not pleased with having to have to call the man.
No, because he's been able to fix everything, really, up until now. And, you know, as a dentist, he's kind of an engineer.
Just very little bridges, yes.
Yes. Well, prop chefs don't have a lot of space.
Yes.
So he was very frustrated. He actually broke a bolt today, so we had to go off to the store and buy another one. It was traumatic.
Yeah, that is extremely
very traumatic.
So,
anyway, go ahead.
So, it was Free Comic Book Day yesterday, and actually,
how did you find out about these things?
So I've known about it since for 2 or 3 years. I remember also in high school or like when I was younger when the Garofalo's owned Mint Condition that they did it, because it's been a thing for like 17 years.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So, funny thing, the comic book shop I really like in Huntington, where I met Tamora Pierce, is owned by an Orthodox Jew. So they don't celebrate Free Comic Book Day on Saturday. They celebrate on Sunday. But of course, me being me, and being enabled by Tanya, and having a shit week last week, and anticipating having a shit Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week.
Retail therapy.
Yeah, in the form of comics. So yesterday we went out to 2 different shops. And we didn't go out and get there right at opening because I slept most of Friday into Saturday. Like Friday, I came home. I left the office at 4:45, 5 o'clock, something like that, which is late on a Friday for me. My office, you're allowed to leave at 4 o'clock on Fridays, every Friday. So leaving at 5-ish was late for me, because Fridays I like to try and actually get out and enjoy some of the day. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, what a concept. So I got out a little late, so I got home around 6.
Still nice.
Friday was still pretty nice. Saturday was nice too. So Friday I get out, I get home, I make myself a bagel with avocado. I then go to watch GBBO, because what do I do when I've been, when I'm stressed and tired and cranky and I woke up with a splitting migraine all day, and nothing was working because of the weather system that was coming through.
Right.
And I was just like, no, screw everything. And the thing was, I knew I was working at 80% because I was hearing things. I was processing it. I could not type it onto the computer.
Aww. And
it was extremely frustrating. And it's hard because people don't understand how much pain you're in, because it's an invisible illness. And I can at least be there and do the 80% that I can do. But also, I had to call Mark over to my desk. I was like, Mark, I know what you're asking me to do for this. I just need you to sit here and talk it out with me, because I'm not, I told you, I have a migraine, and I'm not, it's just, I need help. And he was like, okay, I'll be there in a second. And I was like, great. He's great. But I had also baked cookies the night before, because it was Gary's birthday, and because Bill had closed out on and signed or handshook with all of his trades.
Nice.
So I was like, let's celebrate the little things.
That's right.
So I made cookies. Also to be like, Marion, thank you for being awesome. So I made her white chocolate chip cookies.
Nice.
Yes, everyone in my office was shocked that I made cookies. I was like, guys, seriously.
It's just cookies.
Seriously, it's just cookies. Though the people who were there around Christmas and got Christmas cookies were like, are these Christmas cookies? And I was like, no. The chocolate ones are only made around Christmas time. And the snickerdoodles were not made this time. I might make them again later in the year, but because that's a really good recipe. That snickerdoodle recipe I have is a really good snickerdoodle recipe. So, like, but it was so funny because everyone was like, hey. And it was funny because some people I was like, hey, do you want any cookies? I brought cookies. And they're like, and I'm like, they're homemade. And they're like,
okay.
We'll have a cookie. And I'm like, oh my god, y'all are the worst. It was very funny though, because Peter, who is one of our executives, he saw not Mark on my project, Mark on a different project, eating cookies. He goes, where'd you get those cookies? And Mark goes, this young lady over here made cookies! And it's like in the bullpen, and he's yelling across the bullpen, so now everyone knows I have cookies. I was like, guys, there's a reason these cookies are not over by the cafe for everyone to eat. These are by invitation only cookies. Come on now. So, of course, Peter comes over and goes, so how does one get a cookie? And I, of course, have a migraine. So my response was, one asks nicely and politely if one can have cookies. And he goes, may I please have a cookie?
Yeah.
I was like, yes, you may. But it was very funny because I was, like, taking no shit. And he was like, oh, you mean business? And I fully channeled my grandmother right there. And was like, you do not get a cookie just because you have said, oh, you have cookies. No, you have to ask politely for cookies. And so Jeff, who sits, like, in the cube kind of behind me, he, like, comes over and sits in the chair next. He goes, so I hear you have cookies. And I was like, so you also heard what the rules are? And he goes, may I please have... And then he goes, well, I mean, I think the entire office heard the rules. And I was like, well, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And he goes, may I please have a cookie? I was like, yes, Jeff, you may have a cookie. But it was very funny because everyone was like, she made cookies. She made cookies. I'm like, guys, it's not that big of a deal.
A reputation.
Well, it's also not that big of a deal. Like,
no, I know that.
Whatevskis. I'm also stressed, and what I do when I'm stressed is I bake. So.
Bake.
Yeah. So, Friday, I came home. I ate an bagel with avocado. I then ended up napping for about 2 hours. I then got up and made macaroni and cheese. And then I napped again. And then I watched some GPPO. And then I napped more. And finally I went to bed at, I went into my bedroom at, 1:30. I slept till, 10.
Ooh, you were exhausted.
My body was just like, no, we're done with this.
Not moving. Well,
yeah.
I was exhausted after the workout on
bet.
Friday. So we went out to dinner. We just went down to Point Lookout.
Right.
And we came back and turned on the television.
And you were done.
I was just done. I kept, bringing my eyes open and going down. And then bringing my eyes open and down again. Look at this.
Wow.
This is going to be extremely fine.
Yes. It's going to be very fine. So that was my Friday.
Almost like a store-bought sweater.
Almost.
Yeah.
So Saturday.
We
were talking about maybe going when the comic book shop in New Hyde Park opened, which was 10 o'clock. And I was like, all right, maybe. Ended up not doing that. So I picked up Tanya around 11:15-ish. And we went over there. And they had free comics, which, I mean, makes sense because it's free comic book day. So I picked up...
Is this once a year?
It is. It is the first Saturday in May.
Mm-hmm.
First Saturday in May, yes. Mm-hmm. So they were giving... Every person who walked in got The Walking Dead and The Saga and one other one, which I didn't bring because they're not ones I read. I don't read The Walking Dead, and Saga, I want to start from the beginning, and the Saga that they were giving out was not from the beginning. Obviously. It was like, it's like, I think we're like 40-something issues in. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. So, I picked up, I don't know where my third one is. No. Oh, so that one, you picked up 2 more. So, I picked up Lady Mechanica, which was actually the last one they had in the shop. Because I was like, do you have any of the Lady Mechanicas? And they were like, let me go check. And they checked, and they were like, this is the last one. And I was like, yoink, mine, thank you very much. And then I picked up the Disney Princesses Ariel, so it's drawn by, Amy Memberson, who does the Pocket Princesses on, Instagram, and it's super cute. And it was just light and fluffy and adorable. So I wanted to pick that up because she had shown it. She had, like, kind of previewed it a little bit on on her Facebook, I think. Or at least just the cover. And I just think it's super cute. So then, while we were there, of course I couldn't. So the deal with Free Comic Book Day is, yes, you can get free comics. But every comic book shop has to buy the comics that they're getting. So generally, it is good etiquette to at least buy, 1 or 2 other things. So, I bought a few other things. Did I buy this one? Yeah, I bought that one there. I'm picking them out of the pile because I have them in a pile. That's old. Oh, and I got these there, and I got this, I think. So, I picked up, remember in February, I picked up Gotham City Garage 1. So I picked up 2 and 3, and then I looked up that they do have a trade. And by trade, I mean like a book with a spine. So I'm thinking about calling over to Huntington and seeing if he can if he can pull me the trade, because as much as I like reading the issues, and they're like the perfect amount of escapism that I like can handle right now, in terms of like, too much. Like, a trade is a good amount as well. But, like, issues are perfectly fine for me right now. But a lot of the time I want to be able to really read it and get the meat of the whole story. And at least that story arc that's in the trade. So, I got 2 and 3 because, I had to. They were pretty. So, that's still really good. I do think I want to get the trades now. That was a good confirmation that I got. And then I picked up a new comic series called Moderne. I picked up the first and second ones. And it's really interesting so far. I read the first one, and it's her telling her story, also her being on trial in France. It's very interesting.
Very interesting.
And then I picked up S.H.I.E.L.D. #1. Based on the TV show. So I need to find out if these came out in trades. I know there's only 10 issues, so I'm trying to find out if these ever came out in trades or like larger issues. So I'm gonna research that. And then I picked up this comic called Coyotes, which is really interesting. I think you'll enjoy it.
Yes.
So it's also supposed to be becoming.
You say coyotes?
Because they talk about, it's a very Latinx themed kind of. It's definitely border, like a border town of some sort, and so to me it feels like it'd be Coyotes more. It's not about cartels or anything like that, but it's very interesting. I don't want to give too much away. I do think, I overheard at the shop, they were saying that that Netflix is looking into making it into a show.
Wow.
So yeah, it's really good. I did bring that over so you could read that.
Thank you.
And then, so after we went to there, we went to the shop in the mall in Roosevelt Field. Okay. Where we picked up the only free comic that they had at the time. It was like 1 o'clock, something like that, which is Barriers, which is about cartels, and a bit about running of people.
Okay.
It's interesting, though. Like, I'm intrigued to see
where they go
with it. So, I'm really interested in it. It's really beautiful. It's half in English, half in Spanish. So I would think you would enjoy it. I don't know if you're going to be able to read the Spanish as well, but I think you'll be able to get the gist of it.
Probably.
But again, I really enjoyed it. It's really good. Again, there's also a twist with that one as well as Coyotes that you're like, You're like, that's cool. So that was the free one I picked up. And then I picked up two, right? And then I picked up this. So I picked up S.H.I.E.L.D., the Rebirth 1 through 4. So this is the first 4 issues of Rebirth. I haven't read it yet, but it's supposed to come after the other S.H.I.E.L.D. that I got, and it's also based on the movie, or not movie, the TV show. So we'll see if that's true. I haven't really read it yet, but I mean, I really enjoy S.H.I.E.L.D., so we'll see how it goes.
Good.
And then I got 2, blind packs. So one of them, the cover was this, which is Little Marvel, Avengers versus X-Men. It's really freaking cute. Like, I've seen them before. They're really cute. I might have to get more of it because it's really cute.
Very cute.
And also it's Bebe, X-Men, and Avengers. What's not to love? And then another one in there was X-Men 92, which is the old, 90s cartoon and comics style, and it's gorgeous. Again, this is from 2015, and this is from 2015 as well. So I might end up seeing if they have either trades or omnibuses, because they're just so cute and pretty, and why not?
I don't see why not.
I know. They're really cute.
Oh, speaking of which, I got the audiobooks. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Of Alana. So now I'm in book 2.
Nice.
Yes.
And then, so this isn't the first one. This is the second one of Angel City. Was in the other. This was in the other blind pack. No, blind pack. It's 1940s LA.
Oh, cool.
Movie. It's really interesting.
I like the way it's drawn.
I do too. So I think I want to find the trade for this because this also is from 2016. So I want to see if I can just find it because it might be a short run. It feels like it might be a short run comic, which is fine, and I love them. And it's an indie, so it's from Oni Press. So it's not from DC or Marvel or Dark Horse. So I got those, and then Tanya actually had picked up the trade of Reborn in Huntington, I think, or in no, not Huntington, in New Hyde Park, maybe. But she had picked it up, and I was like, "Oh, that looks really interesting." And actually, in one of my blind packs, it had issues 1 and 2.
What? Nice.
Yeah, so I read them. Now I've decided I need to borrow Tanya's trade so I can read more of it, and I think you'll really enjoy it, so that's why I brought them over. I know, it's very funny because when people talk about, oh, I like comics, but my parents think it's silly, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, honey. My mom thinks it's, the greatest thing in the world. I'm sorry to hear about that, but, yeah. I don't know that plight. My mom, I buy them now, and she, has me read them, whereas previously it was Mom, I really like the X-Men. Mom was like, okay, yes, I have read this already. You may read it. So then today I went over to Huntington, and we did get there at 11 o'clock when he opened, because I knew he was going to be a bit packed because Huntington has a lot of kids, and he's got a whole kids room, and he had a lot of authors going to be coming in and signing. Yeah.
Oh, wow. And
he had one in the back. I didn't pick it up because it was, everyone could pick 3 of the free, or if you were in costume, you could pick 5. I showed up with my Tonks Weird Sisters t-shirt on, and I was like, I don't need to be I'm in costume, because I didn't feel like it. But he had the woman who draws the It's the DC women as teenagers. I can't remember the name of it right now. But they're like high schoolers. She was there signing books and stuff. Yeah. So, and then he had a few others.
To comic books what knit is to knitting.
And he had a few other artists and authors there. And they were really great. So I picked up, I did some research last night since I already had my Lady Mechanica, which is what I was like going out this year for.
Okay.
I looked up
Does she only come out at this time of year?
No, but I want all of the Lady Mechanica stories I can get.
Well, I can understand that.
So since then, and I realized there were like 50 issues out this year, I was like, all right, let me like do some research, see which ones I should pick up tomorrow. So the Invader Zim was rated really well, and I used to watch Invader Zim when it was on Cartoon Network or whatever, and it's adorable. And then Malika, Creed and Fury was rated really well on the sites and the reviews. It's, I think, about an African, like, warrior queen, something like that. So I'm excited. It might become one of the new, one of my new things I follow. And then Shadow Roads, which is, I think, like, London meets, the Midwest kind of thing. I'm not like, Victorian era. I don't know. I thought it looked really cool when I read the review. So I picked those up there. Oh, what I also picked up, in Newbury in the mall was Lady Killer. Which is amazing. Cool. I just finished it while Mom was finishing up doing some grading here. And it's, Josie Schuler is a picture-perfect homemaker, wife, and mother. But she's also a ruthless, efficient killer. She balances cheerful domestic bliss with coldly performed assassins. But when Josie finds herself in the crosshairs, her American dream life is in danger. It's amazing. And it's so beautifully drawn. So I am now letting you read it because it's amazing. So I picked up a few other things. So one thing I didn't bring was he had on sale the illustrated Harry Potters. He only had the second and third, so Chamber of Secrets and Prisoner of Azkaban. So I picked those up. So I will have to get the first one. You need water.
I need water.
But when I was there in November, one of the girls I met had told me that this is a great, like, manga style book, and he had it, Biesengast. And he had it still there in his used books section, and so I picked it up. It's the first one. It's a Tokyo Pop one, and it's read front to back, or left to right, which is unusual for mangas, but I'm about a third of the way through, and I really enjoy it so far. It's interesting. I picked up the new Lady Mechanica, Dama de la Muerte, and then I picked up the new Penny Dreadful, because I liked the series, so let's keep it going. And then when I was there last time, I had picked up Paper Girls, the first issue. So I picked up the trade this time, because it's really quite interesting. And I'm excited to get into that. It's also beautiful. And it's set in the 80s, which is pretty fun.
Nice.
Yeah. So I cleaned up real well.
You did great.
I did. It's really funny, because I'm like, it happens when I go into bookstores, but it also happens when I go into comic shops. Like, it's like, what do I want this time? What am I into? And I realized that recently, or I guess not super recently, but recently. More recently than not, I haven't been as drawn to the Marvel or DC universes. Like, the only DC thing that I read now is the Gotham City Garage. And that's just because it's, like, kind of super cool. So everything else is indie. I mean, I think everything in the pile I just gave you is indie.
I think so.
Yeah. So I think it'll be really interesting. And, like, that's kind of the way that the industry seems to be going. which is really cool. Oh, and with the Moderne is only going to be 5 issues, and they're not sure whether or not it's going to come out in a trade yet. So I think I am going to have to definitely get I'm obviously going to get the next, like, the last 2, but I'm like, okay, maybe it'll come out in a trade. But I was talking to the guy who owns the Huntington shop, and he was like, but it could be like a year down the road after the last release until the trade comes out, which is fine. I mean, not that I don't like having issues on my bookshelf. It's just hard to see what they are since it's just the staple. Slim. So having the trades is really nice. Oh, the other thing I bought was the Monstrous, which I've shown you all already. I bought the first trade because I had all of the issues, and last night when I was looking at my bookshelf, it really bothered me that I had the issues for, like, issues 1 through 6, which is the first trade.
Yeah.
And then I had the second one, and I was like, no, I need to have continuity.
Okay.
I was like, my father is coming out in me right now, being like, this just bothers me. Like, I need the order. Size. It needs to be the same size. And now I can lend out the issues to get people interested in them.
That's true.
I figured that. I was like, that is a good thing. So, yeah, I'm, like, really excited. I find it funny just because, like, I guess in high school, I was still into comics. In the beginning of college, I was still into kind of still into comics. And then, like,
because of the people across the street.
Yeah, probably.
Because they made sure that store was welcoming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not just a guy's hangout or something.
And, but then, like, when I went to school, it became very cliquey, and the whole fake nerd girl situation came up, and I was like, I'm not going to fight you on my knowledge, because I know what I know, and I know just as much as you do, but if you want to, like, I'm not going to
lord it over me.
Yeah, but I'm also not going to, like, deal with the fact that your ego apparently can't take the fact that I know what I'm talking about. So, bye-bye.
Is this from guys or other girls?
Yeah, guys, mostly. There was a whole thing that happened in the web fandom stuff. Yeah. It was weird. It was not cool. But it's getting better.
Good.
Yeah. And I was really impressed with the new Head Park shop, which is called Best Comics. Very welcoming. Very welcoming. Totally, like, not weird, which was good. The Newbury Comics, it's really big, and it's not big, but it's got a lot of pop culture stuff and, like, plushies and shirts and stuff. And yes, it has comics, and they've got a pretty big comic display, but obviously it's a shop in the mall. Oh. So there's that. It was good. The guy who checked us out was saying, like, oh, well, if you like this one, you should check out that one. And, oh, I really liked this one. You really like,
Very knowledgeable.
Very knowledgeable. Tanya lost her mind. There were so many apocalyptic, like, sci-fi fantasies. Oh my gosh. Which is, like, her-ish.
Her thing.
Yeah, one of them looks really cool, though, that I'm going to have to definitely borrow. What you looking for?
Well, I remember at knit night, she said she wanted, like, a DK weight of this. I'm just looking to see what I've got, because I can actually do the next design in the DK weight. Hold on, guys. I think I'm having a brainstorm.
She's having a thought. She's having a thought. But yeah, so that's a lot of what I did yesterday. Was I read comics, and Mom is getting attacked by yarn. Ooh, Mad Tosh.
DK.
Tosh DK. That's
I think
pretty.
I like that.
That is pretty.
Alright, so I have to do my socks, and I have to then make up the next one in that.
That is pretty.
I think that's... Whoa.
We're having some troubles.
We are having... Oh, see?
It's beautiful.
That's really nice.
Yeah. So what Mom is pulling down is Mad Tosh DK in Modern Fair Isle. It's really quite pretty. It's a white with a speckle. It's different colors. It's very pretty. But yeah, so I encourage any of you who are looking at comics or want to get into comics or just interested in graphic novels even, go. Make yourself known. Look up the comic book shops in your area. I know if you're in the Midwest, like the Chicago-ish area, even a little bit wider spread than that, there's a really great comic shop, because I went in May of last year there. I stopped in, and that's where I got into Monstrous.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, I found out about Escape Pod over in Huntington because of the Tamora Pierce event. So,
right.
I mean, look up your favorite authors, see where they're doing signings, support there.
And I really do like Tamora Pierce.
Yeah, I know, I do too. And good judge of character.
I'm glad that she's on Audible.
Yeah.
So I'll be getting all of her books on Audible.
And then I can listen to them on Audible too. The pros of being a daughter.
Right.
Yeah. Not that I don't already own all of them, but I own them through
in paper.
Well, I own them in paper, and I also own them through, like, iTunes or whatever, but they didn't download right.
Oh.
So.
Well, that's unfortunate.
And they're not shareable that way, so.
Right. Okay.
Well, and also because then I have to download them, like, via the cord from my computer to my phone. It's so complicated.
That is complicated.
So, yeah, that has been what I have been up to. I think that we might have come to the end of our row, and it might be time to weave in our ends.
Right, weave in those ends. And, you know, the one thing about this is so funny is that they do have you
cutting your yarn?
Cutting the yarn with each stripe.
Oh,
so
really?
I have ends, but I've actually semi-worked them in, so I'm not going to have to do a whole lot more.
Yeah.
Because I actually, you know, I bet I could just cut them off where they are, because I've worked them across. I've held the tails and worked them across about 4 stitches.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm betting I could just cut them off, but I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to take the needle and weave them in a little bit more. God bless you. So when I finish this row and it's back and forth, I'm halfway through this.
Wow.
Yes. Very impressive.
Super impressive.
Super impressive. So I'm really pleased. And so thank you for this, as it's so nice.
It is.
Yes.
I think it'll be really wearable.
I think it's going to be very wearable, and I love the big holes because I can thread it through, and it gives me some style. So that'll be good. We can wind this up.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. And the Zweig. Because I can't put out a pattern without something to put up in the shop. Mm-hmm. There needs to be a sample. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what I think I'll do is I will make up the next design in this, because it's just going to be a variation on a theme. Yeah. And that way I'll know the size for this. That's my plan. All right, yes, we are going to be weaving in those ends. So nice you stopped by, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, y'all.